one physics jare, about 30 me. I just came here to just. Otuba, please, I will call you back because I think I just found pillows to cool the head.
Good morning, Mr. Macaroni. It's my pleasure meeting you.
Same here.
So, people know you as Mr. Macaroni, but I would like you to talk to the viewers and tell them your name.
Great.
Okay.
My name is Debo Ali Adedayo. Yes.
Okay. And then you have been in the industry, for quite some time.
Yes.
But then what people know you with mainly is skit making. So can you tell us briefly how you actually come into the industry?
Right. Okay. So I've always known that I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be a performer. And this was as far back as maybe when I was 6, 7 years old, even 5. Then at home, we'll be watching different Sunday services, and then the one that attracted me the most was that of Pastor Chris Oyakilome, at the time. Well, I don't watch him now, anyways. So, but then it was very, or he's a very charismatic person. Let me put that, because I still see 1 or 2 clips of him. It's still the same energy, And there was something about him that I picked. It was the way he would move his hand and the way he would speak, So I just found myself doing that at home, And then I also just noticed that I would want to imitate my dad, want to imitate my teachers in school, people around me. My siblings started to call me and say, "Oh yeah, Debo, Shebi and Yi Sheman She, just act the way that person acts," and I would do it. So and I think everyone also just knew that this boy wants to act. He wants to be a performer. So when in secondary school, even from primary school, I joined the drama club. I remember in tender care school, my primary school, in primary 6, we did Macbeth. It was funny. Yes, it was very funny how we could pull that off. Of course, I'm sure we just did what we could. But we delivered some lines, we just picked 1 or 2 things from the play and we did that, And then in secondary school, I was in the drama society. In the university, I had a theater troupe in the university. And then it was then I started to go for auditions. It was then I started to, from school, I'll come to Lagos. I'll go for audition in Surulere, in Festac. It started majorly when I went to PEFT also. I did about 3 months crash course in acting, and then from there they started to call me for jobs. Papa Ajasko, Super Story, 1 or 2 scenes, just do something, wakapas, just and I was building, I was growing along, in the process. So I also remember that I started majorly with English productions. So from the series and the serials, Face to
On TV.
Face, yes, on TV,
Yeah.
Face to Face, Family Ties. I did not have major roles in all of these productions, but you always just find my face there one way or the other, just doing this, doing that. And I wasn't weary of little beginnings, So I was always happy, and he just give me a role, and I would do it to the best. Yeah, I'll interpret it the way I can. In fact, let me jump to a question you might ask, because and that has to do with how I got the name Mr. Macaroni. It was in one of those series. I was just acting. Like I said, give me any role. Even if you just want me to pick something while the main actor is acting, I would do it with energy. So the director liked the way I was interpreting that. And then he said, this boy, actor, he's a good actor. That was Face to Face then. Come, give yourself a name. Let's write more episodes for you so that you can be seeing more of you. You're a good actor. So I was very happy and I was very surprised. I didn't even know what to say. Like, the director said he likes my acting. Wow. So I just, because it's comedy.
Comedy.
So I said, okay, Mr. Macaroni, riding on a bicycle. I started to sing that song. And that was how Mr. Macaroni came to be. That was like, got the name. But I had not started content creation then. It was still going from one audition to the other. While doing the TV productions, I also saw, I got a number in a film that I watched. The number of a producer, it was in the end credits. That if you want to act, call this number. I called the number. The name of that producer is Stanley Ebonini, So I called and he said I should come. I went to Surulere then. And I had to buy form. I bought form, So and then he said when there are auditions, they will be calling me, and if there are roles that I fit into, they will ask me to come and do it. And actually, they did that. The very first major role I got was Mistresses. Halima Abubakar. She was the producer of the film with Stanley Ebonini, directed by Ifeanyi Ogbonna. I went for the audition, they picked me, and that was how I got the role. So I was doing those TV face-to-face Papa Just Go and the likes, and I started doing English Nollywood productions
simultaneously.
Wow. And I was still going to school too. Oh yes, I was still going to school because and I didn't just go to one university. I went to about 4 different universities. So all of those times, I was just any place I found myself, I would still make sure I find a way to perform. So the last one I joined was the Yoruba caucus as well, because I was doing the TV, I was doing the films, but one of my bros who I met in Leeds City University, the very first university I went to, who had now started to do Yoruba movies. I called me and said, "Oh boy, go English too, this English film you are doing, yes, it's good though, but you're a Yoruba boy now, you can speak Yoruba now. Yoruba films too will help you, and it will even put your face out there more because people consume Yoruba movies a lot. So why don't you also try? You can still be doing everything together." So of course I had to buy another form.
So it's compulsory that one must buy a form to join these people?
Traditionally, that's how it's always been. You have to belong to a particular group or a caucus or, and align with that caucus. And to do that, you need to register. So you need to pick a form, you need to audition you and see that, okay, you have some qualities. If not, they kind of train you. And all that. So it's assumed that the money you're paying is for all of that. So,
but is it expensive?
I can't remember now, but I think as at then, this was 20. When did I join? For the Yoruba, so the Yoruba caucus I joined was Odunfa caucus, owned by Yinka Quadri, Ogogo, Abelanre, so, and the coordinator was Sonny Ali, so I think it was around 50 or 70,000.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yes. Yes, if I remember correctly, I'm not sure, but I think it was around that amount, So they said that, of course, I ran to my parents and told them that, so they put money together, I paid, and then, so that was how I started to feature in Yoruba films. So I had not started content at all those while. That was between, this story I'm saying is between 2011, maybe 2010, yes, 2010 to 2019.
Wow.
Yes, about 9 years of TV productions, film productions, Yoruba, English, just doing different things and just trying to put my feet, into the game.
And economically, this was great because even if it's a transport fare.
Oh, yes.
I was wondering, anyway, the parents helped.
Well, yes, my parents helped a lot because, as an upcomer, you are likely not to get anything for coming on set. I have to give credit and kudos to Wale Adenuga Productions, a.k.a. Media Productions. These ones will, no matter what role you're playing, even if it's just to walk by, even before you get on set, there will be a signed contract, how much you're going to, how much the production company is willing to give you. This is how much we have. Are you happy with it? Okay, please sign. And then even if it's 5,000, even if it's 10,000, there's something at least for. So I have to give kudos to that.
That's
and it's one of those cultures that I was imbibed on with early, that you must pay people for their services, no matter whether you think you are helping them career-wise, or you think you're giving them a platform, regardless. Because without those people, the production will never be complete.
Yeah.
So why don't you just appreciate them? Whatever it is, just even if it's the transport fare that will take them going, coming, and their basic feeding, just feeding while they're on set is not too much, you know. So yeah, that was it. 9 years of all of those. And then, so 2019, I was just tired, you know. I wanted more. I wanted more. I've always told myself, I've always known that I will be successful. I would always say that, you know, that by the grace of God, I will be successful. I just did not know the time. But I'll talk to God every day and say, God, I know you have plans for me. And I know that your plans for me is not just to be doing waka pass in every film. I know you want to take me to greater heights. I'm not in a rush, but you know, I just need to see signs. I just need to see something to push me in the right direction. You know, so this content creation thing that I now started in 2019 was something I never wanted to do, because it's been there all the while I was doing all of those. 2014, yeah, 15, it was there. There were the likes of Chris Clown, Twice, Ogbeni Adam, Araji, Brother Shaggy. I think Brother Shaggy came on around 2017, if I'm correct. But Kaoma, they've been doing lots of amazing contents. But as theater trained, I always held back. I'm like, I don't think this is how theater.
So you wanted, to
Yes.
practice what you learned.
What I learned. I didn't. I thought. I thought at best it was slapstick, and I thought at best. What is this? Not what Ahmed Yerima taught me in school, you know. So that's why I never went there. But that 2019, you see, I had a rethink, and at that time there was now a revolution sort of the content creation and digital space, because now at that time content creators, skit makers, as we call them, have started to get endorsements. Brands have started to engage them. Oh, want you to promote this our product, want you to be ambassador. So I'm looking at it like, wait a minute, this is not so bad. I mean, why can't you do it? You're not bigger than these people doing this. So what do you think? What do you think you have that these other guys don't have that are doing it? So I said to myself, okay, why don't I just see content creation as a medium of expression? Because at the end of the day, for every artists are easily depressed when there's no avenue to express your talent. Yes. So I said, okay, instead of just always waiting, audition today, sometimes, you know, you're not getting the kind of roles you want to get, and you're not getting the visibility you think you should be getting. Take this as a form of expression and do what it is. You have nothing to lose. That was what I told myself. So that was how my journey into content creation started. 2019. Yes.
Oh, that's not too long ago.
Yes, actually.
That's not too long ago. So it kind of provided the avenue for you.
Absolutely. And as I think God was just waiting for me to take that decision, because I started content creation 2019. I gained ground 2019, you know, and then, but 2020 was the year I was accepted everywhere, and I came into limelight fully in 2020. But that 2019, late 2019, a lot of I would go out and people already say, you know that guy that is Mr. Macaroni on Instagram, are you not this guy? So they already knew. But 2020, I think the brand became a household name. Yes.
Yeah. So then, when you started, so did you start with Mr. Macaroni, or you had another skit?
Oh, okay. Yes, I started with. Oh, I didn't start with Dadiwa, with the man in the Agbada. I didn't start with that. Yeah. I started. I think majorly was I started as a primary school teacher. I was doing drama with kids then. You know, just making this type of content that the teacher is always chasing the kids here and there, teaching them to do the right thing. That was what I started with. People were watching, few people, I mean, and then I also tried a lover boy content, a young guy just navigating life with his girlfriend and the challenges. I tried NYSC, copper, and the challenges that they go through. I tried different things. And then one day I just thought about it. Okay, wait a minute. I've never really seen any person portray an elderly man chasing five girls up and down the streets. Why don't you try that? Because that, I think, a day before, my sister came home and was telling us about one man that was disturbing her, so that she just told him that, oh, she just gave him one lie or something like that, and then she ran back to the house. So she gave us that gist, and I just found it interesting. Okay, why don't I try and create something like that, just to, show people, like, look at what elders are doing. Elders that are supposed to be training young ones the way to go. Look at what they are doing instead. So I picked up the agbada. That agbada was the one I used for my birthday shoot that same year. My egbon, I said, motivated me to do Yoruba films, to join.
Yeah.
He's also a fashion designer.
Okay.
He's a stylist. So he was the one that
made
the agbada for me. In fact, it was a gift for my birthday because I would not have been able to pay for it. So I wore the agbada. I went upstairs to my dad's room. I took that cap that I use even till now is my dad's cap. So I took the cap I wore, and then I just told my guys, "Oh yeah, let's record this." Of course, I changed my voice as an elderly person. Are you there? Hey, and I noticed that the very first content that I did and I put out, the reaction, even from my about 1,000 followers that I had then, was different. They engaged it differently than they had engaged the others. Even my friends shared, because we have a group, Mr. Macaroni and Friends. I'll quickly tell you how that group came to be. I was very hungry one day, and I think I also needed to go for an audition, and I did not have 5 naira. I think my parents traveled or something. So I added all my closest friends to a group. And I told them, I don't have the strength to be messaging people one by one to send me money. I'm going for audition. I don't have money. I'm also hungry. I don't have money. All of you contribute money and send me money now. I don't care how you do it. So we all laughed about it. And of course, they sent me whatever they could send me. And that was how that group came. The group is still there now. We still play and do everything. Wow. So they had never done that before for any of the content I was doing. But of course, they would just like it, just to encourage me. And, they just come here, you're doing some content, that's nice, we'll keep doing it. But that particular one, that Agbada one that I did, they put it in the group and they were all laughing. Debo, you are not serious. So this is really nice. This is hilarious. And they put it on their status. When you go as an individual with a phone or whatever it is, when you go ahead to put something on your WhatsApp status, because you have seen something that kind of intrigues you about it. Yeah. You're not forced to do it. Yeah. And I didn't beg them. I didn't say, help me put this there. I never did that. So it was good that I waited to see the one that they really liked. Because by themselves, organically, they were just, this is good, and they were sharing it. So I now said, it's like, you guys really like this one. Say, yes, now, this is very nice. You should be doing more of this. I said, but you guys were also liking the other ones that were doing. Just they encourage you. Those ones are nonsense they do. Those ones are not really, but this one is really good. Do more. So that was how I started to intentionally create content around the Dadiwa character.
And I think there's something very interesting, again, I can assert a guess of why they liked it.
Yes.
Because that incident is so common.
Yes.
It is something that we live with.
Yes.
There's a lot of
yes.
good for nothing old men.
Yes, absolutely.
Because the point you're making, yes, they're supposed to be elders, supposed to be people, advising kids about how to live better lives.
But now you're
the one trying to destroy their lives. I remember someone saying that something happened, and he said, "Oh, thank God, sir. While others are trying to exploit me, but you're trying to help me, you're trying to encourage me." I think so. It's so common.
Yes.
And which is something about content.
Yes.
They are everywhere.
Yes.
They are around us.
Yes.
But it's the sensitive artists.
Yes.
who sees,
Yes.
who can recognize it.
Yes.
And I think the role of those friends are really very commendable. And
Very,
again, your own
yes.
sensitivity
Yes.
to realize
Yes.
that because it could have been they're just my
They're
friends.
just my yes.
Then it's like,
yes.
this is really wonderful.
Yes.
And but then so you continue,
Yes.
to create content
around that. Yes.
around
And then
that.
I saw that more people. So people, my organic followers, the few followers I had then were also commenting, sharing it. I noticed even, especially the ladies, they were like, "Yes, that's how they used to disturb us. Good, I expose them." They really loved them. So I saw that. Look, this is really good material, but there was no visibility. The publicity wasn't there. It was limited to the people around me and the few followers I had at the time. It was still my friends that said in the group one day also that, come, Debo, these contents are really good. Though. You should pay one of these bloggers and one of these content people that put content out there that they should put it. Let's even see. Maybe it's just us. Let's even see the general reaction of people. Because if you give a platform that has maybe about 1 million followers or 500,000 followers and the audience there love it, they will come and follow you that I want to be seeing more of this person. I say, me, I don't have money to pay. Who would I pay? So they contributed money and then they helped me put one of the content. I think then we put on Cracks TV and I think we also put on Tunde Ednot. We paid. And I think then it was 70,000 Tunde Ednot was charging. And I was like, what would I do this for? Someone to just post one video, So we did, and the reaction was really good. Wow. A lot of people were commenting, were laughing, they loved it. They started to follow me. They now started to follow because every blog that was paid, they will now comment, they'll put my own platform there that for more, follow this person, that this is the guy. So they were following me. And like that, people were sharing. So it now got to a point, I think we paid these blogs, to pay them about 3 times. They might get my friends, they saw what he was doing and they are more followers. So we shall continue to pay. So not until it got to a point where I noticed that I just post a video and without paying. Because no money again to pay. Without paying, they were posting themselves. So they will now come to my page and look for my latest content and by themselves put it out there because they saw that it was doing very well on their own respective platforms. So I noticed that, and I noticed the followers kept increasing and more people were sharing. Even some artists, some actors, musicians. I remember Reminisce posted one of the videos. Different entertainers who were just posting. Who is this guy? He's a very funny guy. Yes, good for you. Be following small guys up and down. I don't catch up. Things like that. So that was how the brand came to be. Yes.
And it really blew.
Yes.
Yeah, there's something that because even from the other ones you've done,
yes,
there is a tendency again. I think there's kind of coincidence with your interest too in righting wrongs.
Yes.
Because when you look at the acts of this, because again, almost always every story created around this,
yes,
they targeted at spotlighting one form of bad deeds
yes,
or the other.
Yes, absolutely.
And with intention to correct them.
Absolutely.
So I want to again. So I want to hear a little bit more about that. Was that the kind of coincidence of interest that you are setting out to teach? I mean, to correct something that is not going well in society.
Right. Well, because of my theater background, that's all theater teaches us to do. Yes, there's art for art's sake.
Yeah.
But majorly, at least from my own teachers, especially Professor Amederima, who took me as a son and guided my path. I also majored in directing. Macaroni taught me directing. So these are well-grounded thespians that have conquered different fields, playwriting, acting, directing. Professor Yerima is former director general of the National Theatre and former artistic director of the National Troupe of the country. So these are people that know theatre and what theatre should do. So and Prof would always tell us in school that drama should not only seek to entertain, but it must inform, it must educate, it must reform, and it must rejuvenate society. So because what you're basically doing is you are imitating life. You're presenting society, and the artist, as an artist, I'm basically inspired or informed. The raw materials that I use for my craft are what happens in society. I'm inspired by what I see, what I hear, what I read, things going on. Sometimes yes, figment of imaginations, but majorly society feeds me. That's where the raw material is. So if the society is on fire as a consequence of some decadence in society, it is our duty as artists, as thespians, to show what this decadence is and how it can be corrected. So, but of course, because we also know that there's a lot of pressure in society from work, from this, that, the audience wants to laugh majorly. So it is good to be able to make them laugh. But while they are laughing, you are able to purge their emotions.
Yeah.
And you are able to show them that, oh, look, yes, laugh at this man, laugh at his folly. But this is the lesson that you must speak. So that is majorly credit to my theater background.
That's wonderful. Professor Ahmed Yerima was my teacher.
Wow.
At Ife. Yes.
Amazing.
He taught me.
Amazing.
Yeah. So
wow.
I'm so happy to at least hear you talk about him so
yes.
glowingly.
Oh, yes.
Yes. He just returned from London. I think it was at Ife as a student, and then went for his PhD in London. And then when he returned, we were
Wow.
He was my teacher.
Wow.
Yeah. So, comedy.
Yes.
Again, you mentioned how you always loved comedy, how you've always loved to imitate and act, and then there are those who believe that mommy were and daddy were relationship and what happens in your skit. There are those who believe that they promote immoral lessons simply because it involves one form of playfulness with the opposite or the other. So what I mean, that again, the power of the husband as is to be is irresponsible, and I know that that's what you're trying to expose.
Yes.
But there's some people who believe that maybe because of the nature of the skit. The skit's very short.
Yes.
I mean, you have one major incident and then the exposure, and so they also believe that
maybe
this program is encouraging immorality.
Yes. Well, it's a shame, to those that see it that way.
Yeah.
But I don't deny them of their rights to feel that way. Because every work of art is subject to criticism. But at the end of the day, also, I like for us to be very objective about these things.
Yeah.
I always say that for me, I think is what you have just mentioned is perhaps the limitations of the mental capacity of those select viewers. You understand? Because what we are trying to preach and what we're trying to show is crystal clear.
Yeah.
So, if you are operating with a perverted mind, you might not see beyond the freaky that is in the video. So when your mind is already perverted, when that video comes up, you throw all caution to the wind because you are seeing a very fine girl with a nice shape and say, hey. But you have forgotten totally what the content is trying to tell you, that this is a man that has a wife at home. He is now chasing one fine girl up and down. Then at the end of the day, maybe he sends money to that one. Then the husband of that one comes in, or maybe the elder brother, or something happens that brings disappointment to this man. What is it simply teaching you? Be responsible. Stick to your wife if you have one. If not, if you want a decent relationship with any other girl, do it rightly. Don't think that every woman can be bought with money. Don't think, so there are different points to pick from, but it will be a disservice for anyone to now say that it is promoting immorality, because what we are simply doing is presenting to you, if these are real life situations. If we want to show a robbery scene, we have to show armed robbers acting it out like, hey, stop there, go. If we want to show a scene where I did the content I think a week or 2 weeks ago, that it was conflict in the workplace, and someone that was always doing more than he was asked to do, and how when it was time for them to promote, it was time for promotion, they did not promote him because he did not meet up with his own work. He was just doing what they did not send him. You understand? What would they say about that? Would they say that we are trying to promote laziness at work, or that you should not work? No. Everyone watching or consuming content have to consume with an open mind, and have to be objective about this content and see what we are trying to teach you with the content.